Is he in? Is he? Yeah! It may have taken 5 months, but we've got one. Oh my God, it has not been easy to catch one out of here, but we've finally got one. Yeah! Let's pause it there and take it back to where all of this begun. I'm gonna catch a carp from a drain. All right, well, maybe not this drain. Mozza vs is back, but this time with a twist. I'm not going up against Team Fox, but instead I'm going head to head with venues with a difference. And that brings us to here, the Drains in Peterborough, one of the most unique style venues I will ever fish. And there's water as far as the eye can see. And best of all, it contains carp. The Drains in Peterborough are a man-made water system created in the 1600s, set out to drain the fens. They span out across many miles, and the hardest and most important part is going to be location. Well, this is certainly a bit different. When you look left and the water just goes for miles that way, and you look right and the water just carries on going for miles that way, you're a bit like, where on earth do you start? Well, I can't even answer that, because to be honest, it's 1 degree. I think I'd be lucky to see a fish for the whole time that we're going to be here, to be honest, and this is looking very daunting. Now, it's somewhere I've never ever fished before, or a type of venue that I've never fished before. I think the last time I fished a canal was Regent's Canal when I was about 7 years old, and that's as close as I've come to fishing a place like this. This is gonna be tough, really tough, and I'm just looking and seeing problems wherever I look as well. Like at the minute we got a reed berg coming through tight to the margins, so straight away I'm thinking, right, probably going to have to use backing leads here. So you've got all the embankment to deal with, you've got reeds everywhere, and I'm buzzing for it, as you could well imagine. But you know, that's what I guess what this series is about. It's coming to places like this that, to be honest, I didn't even know that carp existed in these sort of places, and normally a place you'd come to pike fish, obviously. And yeah, if we could get a carp out of one of these, I think it'd be mega special, that. So where do we start? Well, to be honest, I think our best bet is to obviously gain a bit of local knowledge, and we've got that from Lewis Porter. He lives in the area, he knows the guys that sort of fish on this stretch, and yeah, they don't catch a lot. So that's a great start, great local knowledge. But this is a zone that has done bites in the past, like last February. This is sort of where they got bites from, and at the minute that's all we've got to go off of. So you've got to go off of that, I guess, because we've walked and we've looked and we've not really found a lot. So this is the start of one of the night zones, because there's day areas as well as night areas, and this is the start of a night area. So I think coming here, being semi-close to the van, is probably a good starting point, because come tomorrow, we're going to go and have a go on one of the day stretches. So light's fading at the minute. We're not obviously going to get too much done today, but we can get some rods in the pond, do a night here, and then just make a start with it, I guess. With the light fading fast, I quickly dashed to get the rods out. So with the rods all set for the evening, it's time to get into bed and see what the night brings. Good morning. quiet, unfortunately. To be expected as well, I guess, on a venue like this. Can't help but feel like this might be a regular occurrence in the mornings, but I'm still like really excited about the fact that, you know, it's very unknown, isn't it? When you come to a venue like this, I think that's the motivation that you need, is the fact that a lot of the fish that are in here have probably never been caught, and you are pretty much fishing for the unknown. So that's what sort of you've got to keep in your mindset and keep you going, I guess. So that's why today I'm going to pack up from here. Oh, go on, right-hander. Now that right-hander is actually on a really nice spot. Funny enough, I just said to Ben, the cameraman, there's an 11-foot bit out there. Yeah, I was really sort of confident about that rod, that something might happen there, because it's all very much of a muchness up the middle, and then you've got this deeper hole, and then it carries on sort of as it goes up the river, or drain, should I say. So yeah, quiet at the minute. Still very optimistic about it all, to be honest. So we're going to get packed up from here, head off to the cafe, Benny's Cafe, and go and have a breakfast, and then go and spend the day in one of the day zones. And then when we come back here, I'm in two minds of whether to come back to this bit or go 80 miles that way, or go just sort of the other end of this stretch as such. You can come up and then round, and there's a bit which one of the bailiffs has told us is called the lodge bit, which was good again last year. So that's the plan. Finish this tea, get the rods in, go to the calf, day zone, back here. That first morning turned out to be the theme of the next few nights. We travelled lots, walked absolutely miles, did lots of looking, tried many different areas during the days, and fished different night zones every night. In total, we fished 10 different spots during that first trip. You know what they say, effort equals rewards? Nothing's happened. Ugh. Well, the rewards, they did not come. No matter how many different spots we tried, how many different night zones, how many different areas, we just could not find them. And that, without a shadow of a doubt, is key for catching carp in this sort of location. All that said, I absolutely love the drains, even though I did start to lose the plot a tad by the end. Thank God for that. Now, I forgot to check my hinge stiffery before I chucked it out, so I'm glad that that was set perfectly. Idiot. Come on. Ben's only stood there because he is just praying that I'm going to slip in. It's the only reason why he's still filming at the minute. I know you're Scott. What's it called? I know you're whatever it is. Game. That's it, game. Losing my mind here. So one of the reasons why we actually came here is because Lewis Porter said that it would be absolutely amazing. So it's all his fault. I'm not blaming Harry at all on this one. Lewis said it would be the absolute one, and he lives in the area. And then the minute we got it, he's like, no, it all changed. Not going to catch anything. Oh, cheers, mate. Like, no, they've all gone. I was like, all right. No, we're going to get one. We are, just so that I can prove Lewis wrong. Because he thinks we're just dreaming that we're actually going to catch something here. I'm like, no, we're going to get one. We are going to get one. But time is running out. And I've got Lewis on this shoulder and some idiot on this shoulder going, you are going to catch one. That idiot being me. Calling Lewis an idiot, of course, I get sacked. I am enjoying, as much as this is like painful and I don't really know what the best move is and all that, it's so cool this. I am, because it's so different, you know, obviously from what you would normally do. So, you know, I'm still like buzzing to think, right, what's that next bit gonna look like? And, you know, and if you get that one opportunity on a place like this, it's gonna be special, isn't it? So yeah, you know, all the while it's freezing cold and me and Ben are just like questioning our sanity. I am still just thinking, if it happens, mate, this could be special. So, and it wouldn't matter what it is, you know. I think I'd take a common that big right now. How's Bart do it? I'll take one that big, mate. You get a little nudge. Get a little nudge on the rod. I'll take one that big. Hey? Plumb them up. Get a nudge and catch one that big, mate. Time did run out, but I just couldn't leave it there. So we hatched a plan to return in the summer for revenge. On the opening night of the season, the glorious June the 16th, I had to catch one from this venue. Summertime, woohoo! Definitely looks loads different from what it did in February, let me tell you. Nice to be in a t-shirt this time round, and I've already had a little trot about and it is gin clear, full of weed, can't find any carp, great. So from what's changed, obviously the water clarity's changed, but the fact that we can't find them at the minute hasn't. Oh, painful. But do you know what? I've really thought about this place loads since we last left it, and I really enjoyed it because it's so different from what I would normally do, of I think what most anglers would normally do, to be honest. I'm chomping at the bit to hopefully find one, and if we can find one on this clear stretch, I feel like we'll be laughing. So let's go and have a proper walk down and hopefully find some carp this time round. Oh, there's a ghosty. There. Oh, finally. We've seen some carp. Right, we've just been for a very long walk. I've forgotten how many miles we travelled last February when we were here, and that all come flooding back to me as we got onto this bridge. And luckily, literally, if we'd have been 20 seconds later, I reckon we'd have binned this off, in all fairness. But as I stood up on the bridge here, ghosties come swimming through like at a rate of knots as well. So I've chased him, I don't know how many thousands of yards, but a long way up this stretch, just kept following him. And I said to Ben, I'm like, the minute it's almost like he was showing us where to go. And just kept going. Then I see a bow wave coming the other way, and another fish has joined him, and then they both just carried on going. So we kept following, and then we finally come to where they took a halt with about 20 other carp. So literally, if we'd have been 20 seconds later and he was somewhere up there and I wouldn't have seen him, I doubt I'd have walked as far as we just have now, in all fairness. I'd have carried on going and thought, let's go somewhere else. So we've got lucky, finally, a bit of luck. So gonna get the kit ready, get it on the barrow and walk back 50 mile that way to where we saw the fish hold up. So fingers crossed they don't all of a sudden decide that they want to carry on going, because it is sort of fishable in the way, well, it's not really fishable at all, to be honest. It's going to be absolute chaos, but it's fun all the same, innit? It'll be to everyone else's amusement, I'm sure. But in the meantime, let's get some kit ready, let's get down there, let's catch a carp. It didn't work. Oh, he went for it. He proper went for that, didn't he? But where's he? He's like totally disappeared. Well, that was a massive failure. Ugh. At first, there was a decent 20 ghosty that obviously we followed up from the bridge all the way down. And then when we went back down there, he was still there. Had a flick for him, he went for it, tail up and everything. Nothing come of it, and then just totally disappeared. So I thought, that's all right, there's a few more to have a go at here. They weren't up for it at all. I don't know why either. A few of the times they sort of beelined for it and you thought, yeah, they're going to have it, and they don't. They just get to the very last split second of taking the upbait and just veer away from it. So yeah, gonna have to get me thinking cap on for these ones, because I even chucked some bread out there with no hook in it at all to see if they'd take that, and they wouldn't. So yeah, I'm not totally giving up on this stretch, but we do need to go and have a look for the night zone, because before we know it, the day's going to be over and it's a bit of a trek to get to the night zone. So yeah, back to the drawing board for these ones. I think maybe it's just a bit too hot in the day now and we left it a little bit too late. Maybe if we found them a bit earlier in the morning, then they might have been up for it a bit more. So let's get the kit back in the van and yeah, let's go to the night zone. See what happens there, eh? We travelled to the first night zone, but the clarity was low, no carp was seen. This was the same story at the next two options as well. It was now late evening, so the decision was made to return to where we started to set up camp next to the day zone. Get a good night's kip and try for the carp there nice and early in the next morning. Good morning. Now there isn't as many about as there was yesterday, unfortunately, but there is a couple of opportunities here. There's one that I'm staring at now, and there's a ghosty out the back here. We really need to get one. So there's two opportunities here, and I'm hoping that I don't mess it up like I felt like I did yesterday. So I've changed my hook bait. I'm going in with a PB dumbbell wafter just to give me a little bit more extra weight, and I'm hoping that that might flutter down a lot more slowly than what the corn was yesterday, and this wind's not going to help matters either, so I'm getting all my excuses in now before this doesn't happen. So, but no, I'm hopeful that we might get one out of here this morning. We're here a lot earlier than what we was yesterday, and I feel like we were just at an hour or two a little bit late yesterday, so let's hope the old PB does it for us. And oh God, I really want to get one out of one of these drains, I really do, and I feel like this is our best opportunity in a minute, so let's go get one. Come on. Too windy to do what I wanted to do, and the fish keep diving on one zone out here that I've noticed. They keep coming along the back here and then going down, coming back up. So I've just mocked up a little running rig set up, Ronnie doodah there with a milky malt on top of it. We won't go into too much detail because I really want to catch one. So let's get this in the pond or drain. Oh, that was disgusting. Oh, that is a bite. Go ahead. So what's happening? I was like, that rain's going mental. We're actually in. Oh, we've hooked one on the drains. Right, I've got to somehow get down there. Somehow. Without dying. Right. Right. Please stay on. Please stay on. Oh. Right, let's make sure that that net is together properly. Oh my God, it's a bit steep here. Here we go. Is he in? Is he? Yeah! It may have taken 5 months, but we've got one. Oh my God, it has not been easy to catch one out of here, but we've finally got one. Yes! Get in there! Oh, look what we have. That is an absolute gem, I'm telling you. Now, these fish live a very, very difficult life in this drain. And you could say it's been very, very difficult trying to catch one as well. But as you can tell from this carp, like, he has got a million stories to tell, I'm sure. And he lives in such a cool home as well. But I do feel sorry for him because of the predation that these fish are under on these drains is massive. And yeah, I think that's a telltale sign from what this fish has been through, definitely. It's been traumatic for him and it's been traumatic for us trying to catch one. But wow, that is one cool cat. And I'm so, so happy to have finally managed to get one in my hands. That is a wicked, wicked carp. We love you. That is special, that really, really is special. Wow, magnificent. Yes! Oh, wow. Right, let's go to another stretch. Bit different from this one. And go and catch a 20-pounder from there. Now that would be special. I just finished a lovely celebrationary breakfast and we're now at a new spot that we haven't been to before. This, yeah, is totally different from anything else that we fished even in the winter, where you've obviously got this bit of a dogleg here, which is some form of pump station, I would imagine, where it's sort of controlling that drain into this main drain. So yeah, some form of structure and something a little bit different from miles and miles of the same you would like to think would hold a few carp in the area. So we spoke to one of the bailiffs last night and he was the guy that put us onto this zone and showed us a beautiful 20-pound common that he'd had out of this area, which he's had 3 times as well. So you'd like to think that that's obviously a resident that lives here. Carp can get very territorial, and I guess a 20-pounder in these drains is like a 50-pounder because, yeah, there's not many of them about, and yeah, it would be mega, mega special to get a 20-pounder without a shadow of a doubt. So this is feeling really good for today. So let's hope that that giant of the drains is swimming around in front of us somewhere, and fingers crossed he's up for a feed also. Right, now where do I catch him from? Rods are all out then. We've gone in with 3 Ronnies, all 3 of them on whites, because obviously that's what we got the bite on this morning, milky malt. And then what I've done is the left-hander, I've got that on a single stick because that's sort of fishing back up this drain. to my left-hand side here against the far margin. Went down with a lovely slam as well. It's perfect cast, that one. And I've put about 10-15 bugs over the top of that one. And then further down, almost in front of this sort of point that we're on, again, up against the reeds, slammed down again. It was nice and clear. And then on the right-hand side here, you've sort of got this little bay from this dog leg, and it's mega deep down. When I say mega deep, it's like a lot deeper than all the rest of the drain. It's about, I would say, between sort of 8 and 10 foot, and it slams down as well. So mega clear there. And again, you know, 10-15 bugs over the top. You know, it does feel good. So fingers crossed, and we'll get an occurrence at some point today. Let's hope we do. Feels mad for it. Right, I reckon we've just had someone that obviously clearly doesn't like me just come to the pump station and go, I know what'll ruin his fishing. But to be honest, now I really know why the fish like being here, because the guys just come and opened up one of the drain covers and just rushed loads of water through the swim. It's wiped the right hander out, not that fussed about it, because now you would like to think would be the time that the fish should get in here, because it proper stirred everything up. And yeah, it feels mega for it in here at the moment. But yeah, I was a bit concerned that that was it, you know, it was going to stay like that and I was going to have to get my rainbow leads out. Oh yeah, that's the one. That is beautiful. God, surely they're going to come in here now. Right, so a quick rundown of the rig and lead setup that I'm using. Yes, it's a Ronnie rig. Yes, you've all seen it before, but there's people probably watching this who may have never seen the Ronnie rig before. We've got new people coming in to fishing all the time, so we're going over it again. Prepare yourself. Right, starting off with the hook bait, a white milky malt DNA hook bait there. That is attached via a bit of floss that is on to one of our hook bait swivels. Now the hook that I'm using is a size 6 wide gape long shank, an amazing pattern of hook to be using for the Ronnie rig. So if you've never tried that pattern before, well worth giving it a go. Very rare you'll lose fish using that pattern of hook. Right, so to stop that hook bait from obviously coming off of the hook, you've got a power grip hook bead there that's holding that in place, and I like it right at the top of the shank. I feel like you get better hook holds with the hook bait in that position. Moving down, got a lovely bit of camo shrink tube in there, and then that is attached via one of our Ronnie swivels. Now the hook link, can't really talk a lot about this hook link, but what I can say about it is it's the best hook link I've ever used. Honestly, incredible stuff. It's on test at the moment. It'll be out at some point, just like the bobbins. Now, to keep that hook bait down, I've got a big blob of putty sat there. I like that nailed to the bottom so that when the fish come in feeding, it's not wafting around the place too much. So that's attached via the lead system that I've got here. So you've got a quick change swivel underneath one of our standard tungsten tail rubbers, and then that is on one of our slick lead clip setups. So I've got a 4-ounce lead attached to our slick lead clip setup there, and then for my tail rubber is a naked line tail rubber because I'm using that straight onto the main line. Now what you'll notice, a lot of people notice with me, is that I always like to have that tail rubber right down to the end of the lead clip. Now what I like to do, as you can see there, is just trim the lead clip down slightly, and then with our naked tail rubbers, you see you've got that little cut that's out of there as well. So basically when that is back towards the back end of the lead clip, as you can see, it's all streamlined, but very easy if anything was to happen for that lead to just pull off nice and easy. But at the same time, it stays on until you get into trouble. So that is a look at the setup that I'm using whilst on the drains. Damn. I thought this was going to be the one, in all honesty. It felt like it was the one, but it wasn't the one. After they opened up them drain covers, I thought, oh, here we go, this is going to be ideal. They're going to be all over this. Oh, there's bubblers over there. That is painful. But this is a day zone. So, and yes, I know what you're all thinking, no, it's not night time yet, but the night zone is miles away from here. So we need to be on our toes to get into the night zone. And it's a long old walk as well. So reel these in, they're all reeled in now, and McDonald's, I think, for dinner tonight. Living like kings we are. And then off to the night zone, which is the last place we fished back in February. Now, we did have a look at it last night, and there was a few sort of plicks and plucks, as Bart would say, about the place. And yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of fish activity there, which is what I would obviously say. So let's hope there's some fish down that stretch, because yeah, I'm really surprised that there's no fish along here, in all honesty, especially with all that going on this dog leg here. But one of them things, I guess. Right, let's get on our toes and go to Macca's. Who's Macca? This is the Pennywise Spot, we've been calling it, and I don't know if I've referenced that on the video, but it's because Pennywise's house looks like it's over there. And this is the last area that we fished, I believe, when we were back here in February. Again, I don't know if I've said that in the millionth time that we've already moved on this trip, journey, whatever you want to call it, adventure. Well, I wouldn't go as far to say an adventure. It's been exciting, it has. Like that bit this morning, up and down that stretch, seeing them fish swimming in that gin clear drain is, yeah, very cool. But the minute you hook one, you know, they're gone, they're out of there, and then they can just keep swimming for about what feels like eternity, to be honest. They just keep going, and then the water gets murky more up to the right of that stretch, as is a lot of this stretch, to be honest. Now, trying to find them and spot them, like when we planned this, I thought, it'll be all right, just fly the drone up and down until we find them. Yeah, that hasn't happened. It's proper murky, and I'm feeling a lot how the fish are feeling at the moment. I've got a withered arm, I've got a withered pec this side. But as much as I like to whinge and moan about it, it is cool fishing this, and we have really, really enjoyed it. And this is going to be our last night, in the hope that we can get one. How we never had one on that day bit earlier on when matey opened that drain up. I thought, I was rubbing my hands together. Bit gutted, really. Perhaps we could have stayed a bit later and made something happen, but I knew that this was going to be a long, long walk here. And I knew we had to, you know, get here, get set up properly for the night, in the hope that we can, fingers crossed, get one out of this stretch, because that would be amazing. We spent a fair bit of time here in February, so it'd be nice to finish it off right where we ended it last time we were here. I spread the rods out, fishing one in front of the reeds, one to my left and one to the right towards the Pennywise drain. Tactics were exactly the same as before. Ronnie's on all the rods with milky mults, then scattering of bug boilie over the top of each rod. The rods had only been out for half an hour. Just as the sun was setting, I was away. Coming in breamy. No!
Is it?
No, it's a brem. We just had a proper bite. Like, oh my God, it's like proper oh, it's definitely a carp. We've been watching fizzes, everything go on around here. No, it was brem. He's a clonker. He did give me a pluck. Bart would have said he was about that big. Ah, never. Look, line's back in there, we're away. I can't believe that. Honestly thought that is 100% carp the way that went. I've never had a bream bite like that ever in my lifetime. Never ever. Why? Gorgeous, gorgeous. There is carp in here. We found him! Ah, to have caught another one out of the drain is, again, just as special as that one this morning, obviously. Now, we are miles and miles away from where we were this morning when we had that first bite, and it feels like we've fallen on him here, on the old Pennywise Spot, as we've been calling it. We've put a lot of time and effort into this area to have finally got one from this zone as well. That is one happy angler. Oh, wicked. Like I say, they're not monsters in here, but, you know, to catch them out of this sort of environment is just totally different and really, really cool. Wicked. Right, let's get him back to his drain. Love that. Take the shot, Brad. Yeah, we like him. We like him. Come here, right, little wildie. Wow. 4 AM this morning, left-hander busts off, so all 3 rods went this morning, or last night, yesterday, whenever we got here. The sun's hot, my head's hot. But yeah, we had a mental fight with him this morning. A bit blurry-eyed we were, but well worth it all the same. The biggest one from the drain so far, a long, lean fighting machine from what's been an incredible adventure on the drains. It just goes to show that there is a few carp still living in these waters, and yeah, we've had a mega adventure trying to catch these very elusive carp. So a huge thank you to Ian for allowing us to come and fish the drains. So we're going to put this one back and head home ourselves. Incredible. He's wicked. Oh, lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. Woohoo! If you'd love some more carp fishing content, then click here for my naturals video, or click here for the shanty experience, or click here to subscribe. Bosh. All right? Yep. You sure?